Religious organization marketing. How to use text messaging to keep your congregation informed, inspired, and interested. Find out how you can keep believers engaged by sending well-crafted and well-timed messages. This video is a must-watch if you want to expand the reach and appeal of your religious organization, be it a church, temple, mosque, synagogue, or other place of worship. You might be thinking that texting and praying are not exactly a match made in heaven, because phones are distracting and people forget to silence their ringtone. But when used correctly, group texting can do wonders for your congregation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or a vodka and let's roll. Today I want to talk about religious organization marketing, how to use text messaging to keep your congregation informed, inspired, and interested. Now let's first talk about why text messaging is important for your congregation. Now you have to understand that everyone from kids to adults eventually get caught fiddling with their phones instead of paying attention to the message. Right, we live in a world where people or everybody has a cell phone. Even kids have a smartphone now. So it is important to realize that text messaging can actually help your congregation overcome common problems. So I'm talking about, again, from synagogues to mosques to churches to temples, doesn't really matter. All kinds of religious organizations face the same basic problem. So you want to keep your congregation engaged in a world of digital distractions, and you want to also keep them focused because around them there is an information overload. All right. How do you connect with the youth, the teens and young adults in your community? Because they are the future. They are the ones you want to reach out to. They are the flock. They constitute the essential flock you want to reach out to and sort of capture. Now, you want to make your message meaningful the whole week long, not just on Saturday or Sunday or Friday. So with text messaging for your religious congregation, you can address each of these issues with ease. You can keep your flock engaged all week long. You can connect with the youngsters. You can also make the message meaningful. In other words, you can customize every day. For example, you can customize the message that goes for that particular day. And by doing that, you're able not only to interact with your flock, with your believers, with the congregants in a meaningful manner, you're able to keep them looking for more, which is more important. You want to keep them looking forward to seeing you on Sunday or Friday or Saturday, depending upon the congregation. All right. So number one, text messaging is very important for a congregation for the reasons I've just explained. Now, how do you set things up? How do you set group text messaging up? Now, with text messaging here, I'm talking about SMS. So that's short message service. It is very easy to contact your members instantly. Now, before you can start texting, you need cell phone numbers and, most importantly, permission from your members. Right? This might sound complicated, but it is very simple. Now, you can collect the numbers two ways. There are two main options you can collect the numbers. There are three. There are three ways. The first way is to have a sort of a notebook where at the end of the service on Sunday, Saturday, or Friday, depending upon your congregation, you can actually ask members to voluntarily write down their name and numbers. So you have that the old-fashioned way, the old school way, that's on a piece of paper in a notebook. The second way you can do this is through social media or online platforms. It can be via email. People can sign up and actually volunteer the phone number. They can go on social media and direct message you with their numbers. You can also reach out to them through your website, right? So you can have a form, contact us, so they will put their information and basically volunteer the phone number. The third way to do this is that you can contact one of those companies that offer group text messaging. Now, those companies are very sophisticated. They have platforms and features and tools that allow you to basically collect cell phone numbers fast. What they do is usually they will ask you to go to their platform. You have to reserve a keyword, and once you have that keyword, you just need to basically text. They'll give you a number, and you have to ask your congregation to text that particular code or number to another number. For example, you can ask your congregation to text the keyword to 00000. So that's the keyword, that's the number that the text messaging platform would have given you. And it's a great opportunity to actually gather the phone numbers really fast. All right, so you can do that, and it's very fast. It's very cheap. Nowadays, with the advent of the cloud, things are getting cheap, so they can store your data for you in a very secure way. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still having a conversation around religious organization marketing, how to use text messaging to keep your congregation informed, inspired, and interested. In the first section, I was talking to you about why text messaging is important for your congregation and how to set things up. Now, let's talk about how your congregation, for real, can use text messages. Now, before I do so, if you love the content's clarity and quality so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell. We release new shows every single day, rain or shine. We have a variety of topics we like to cover, not just nonprofit and religious congregation marketing. And like this content, share, and comment below. Now, how your congregation can use text messages. Let's say that there are a lot of ways you can do this. You can send daily. Let's just give an example. And you have basically to customize this example based on your religious faith. But let's say you are a Catholic church. You can send daily Bible verses straight to your members' mobile phones. Think about that. You have text quotes from scripture that are relevant to that week's sermon can be sent, and that way you are keeping congregants inspired all week long, right? You can also alert members instantly about schedule changes, whether you manage a mosque, a temple, a synagogue, or a church. You can alert members instantly if there is something going on and you have to change the date or the location of an event. That's fantastic. So sending timely text about schedule changes means no one will be left in the dark. So if you need to cancel, for example, Friday school due to dangerous weather, text alert lets you reach the multitudes in minutes. You can also notify congregants of upcoming events. And this is important, especially if you want to ensure that your social events are well attended. You can actually remind members with automatic text, right? No need to wait until the last minute. You can basically send a quick text message to them and everybody is just informed. For example, you can say, bonfire tonight at 6 p.m. Hot dogs and more galore. Don't forget to bring your friends and family. Very quick, short, and funny. Another thing you can do is to reach your youth by speaking their language. Earlier, I was talking about, if you remember, one of the challenges that religious congregations have is to connect with the youth, teens, and young adults in their community. Now, with group text messaging, you can actually reach them by speaking a lingo they understand, right? Because research has shown that for ages 15 to 24, text messaging is by far the most frequently used channel for personal written communication. So you want to take advantage of that, and you don't want to be left out, because this is a cluster in your congregation that matters, because they are the future. You can also use group text messaging to get feedback and suggestions from your community, right? Let's say you're looking for a suggestion, you have an idea and need the feedback of your entire congregation. You can just send a text, ask for input, and reap the responses. No need to do something convoluted around a survey or reach out to them on social media or send them a newsletter, where we all know that newsletters sometimes have a notoriously low open rate. The bottom line here is that if you want to get feedback and you want to get it fast, you want to use group text messaging. Another way you can use this is to ask for volunteers to help out at events, right? If there's an event going on in your Buddhist temple, you want volunteers. Get what? Getting volunteers on board is a lot easier with SMS. You just send a quick text message and people will respond ASAP if it fits their agenda. All right. And the next one is you can share a prayer request with the whole community. Who doesn't love prayer requests? Everybody does. Everybody does. Everybody needs a prayer request at some point in their life, right? So if you need to let everyone know about an important prayer request, group text messaging is the best way to do it. It's the best way to reach a large congregation in a short amount of time. All right? So consider those. You can send daily scripture quotes. You can alert members about schedule changes. You can notify parishioners of upcoming events. You can reach your youth by speaking their language. You can get feedback and suggestions from your community. You can ask for volunteers to help out at event. And you can share a prayer request with the whole community. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwa. We're also having a conversation here around how to use text messaging to keep your congregation informed, inspired, and interested. Number 4, strategic uses of text messaging. Now, when it comes to text messaging, you can use it for practical stuff, right? That's what I said in the last section, where you need them around things like meetings and things like status changes, updates to upcoming events. But you can also use group text messaging, mass text messaging, for strategic uses, strategic goals. For example, you can hold a Bible or Quran or Torah trivia contest, right? You can send out a teaser for an upcoming sermon. You can share a link to notes for the weekly Quran or Bible study. You can actually communicate with fellow pastors and church leaders. So you are not only solidifying leadership, top leadership, or you're solidifying harmony among the top leadership, you are also fostering, if you will, top-down communication. You can provide updates on mission trips. Very important, right? This is what I mean by strategic, because before we were talking about the day-to-day activities. Now we're talking about the long-term, the medium term, things that keep the congregants going and going and going. You want to let people know where their donations are going. This is a great element here because folks love to see that the little 20 cents or $20 or $30 they're giving to the congregation is being used properly, and they'll make sure that they will encourage them to give more. You can also use text messaging to wish members a happy birthday. Think about that. If you're able to collect data, not only phone numbers, but also biographical data from the congregant, do you know their date of birth? You can wish them a happy birthday. Now, here, this is a non-exhaustive list of things you can use with group text messaging. I'm sure you can find out. I'm just giving you an idea of what's possible out there, and I'm sure you can customize the needs here based on your congregation's specific needs. Number 5, how do you encourage congregants to sign up for text messaging? That's important, right? Because before you can use group text messaging, you have to encourage your congregants, your members, to sign up for text messaging. Number 1, spread the word. Spread the word. Nothing is better than just spreading the word. In any opportunity, any occasion you have to spread the word, do it. You can do a lot with the congregation texting. It's very simple to do if you're able to do it the right way. You can announce it from the pulpit. For example, if you're in a church, you're already making other announcements from the pulpit. So why not add new text messaging service to that list? People will listen. Actually, it has been shown that in some congregations, people are more awake, quote unquote, awake at the end because I guess they have to go home now. They have to go eat. than during the sermon. So you just want to let your congregation know that they can opt in to receive daily scripture quotes, prayer requests, sermon notes, or whatever it is you decided to use SMS for. So you can also include signs and notices in your place of worship, right? Everything from bulletin boards to sermon notes to brochures to newsletters to donation boxes can help. They are great places to inform people about your texting service, right? All you need is something simple like, text this to 0000 for weekly event reminders. Another way to have congregants sign up for text messaging is to use it online. You can feature it online. You can announce your texting service to the internet. And here I'm talking about your websites, social media accounts, emails, if you have a blogs, or whatever else you have an online presence. Feel free to inform your congregants. All right, folks, this is it for today. I really appreciate your attention here. So we were talking about religious organization marketing, how to use text messaging to keep your congregation informed, inspired, and interested. I told you I covered 5 different things here. Why text messaging is important for your congregation, how to set things up, how your congregation can use text messages, strategic uses of text messaging, and how to encourage congregants to sign up for text messages. I'll talk to you another time. But until then, remember, stay blessed.